lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels normal, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
After an absolute stormer of a finish last week under the lights, we return to the World Center of Racing and Daytona International Speedway with the Xfinity car for round number 12 of the ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight as hot laps underway right now. Let us take a quick look and see who is on track. Give us a moment here. Currently, Shane Posey sitting atop the pile. Cujo, Joe Gautier, last week's winner, right there as well. A couple names making a return to the league tonight. Brandon Wilson back in the 501. You see him there in the Exalta Chevy Camaro. Dusty Burkhart is back. And we only have a couple races left in the regular season. As a matter of fact, let me just take a quick look at the schedule, as my partner in crime on Sundays, Jason Sofford, would say. We have tonight in the Xfinity, tomorrow, next week, with the trucks at Talladega, and then we are into playoffs, folks. It is getting down to crunch time. Currently on the inside, James Lowe, Jason Papp, Ed DeBoer, Ryan Decker, Chris Worrell, Greg Marconi, Marcus Adams, Josh Carver, Nick Wing, Joe Gautier, Brian Tarnowski, Jimmy Green, Dusty Burkhart, Adam McKinney, Brandon Wilson, and John LeBombard. On the outside looking in, Logan Rhodes, Brian Chu, Michael Anthony, Mark McFadden, Zach Borman, Shane Posey, Justin Sumner, and Connor Trafari. So, still a lot of racing left here. The cutoff is minimum of 8 starts. Currently, everybody in the top 16 has the minimum starts that they need. So, that is a good sign. Defending series champion Michael where the hell? No, I'm sorry. Mark McFadden, Michael Anthony, Zach Borman, Shane Posey, and Justin Sumner, and Connor Trafari. I don't think those guys are going to make it, especially not Trafari and Sumner. They only have 4 starts apiece. Shane Posey needs to not miss any more races, as he's currently sitting at 6 coming into tonight. He needs this week and next week to count if he's going to have any shot at it. Mark McFadden has 7. Michael Anthony has 6. Logan Rhodes and Brian Chu with 8 each. Basically in a win and you're in situation for those guys. Justin Sumner does have a win on the season. He's only made 4 races, though. So, by minimum race count, not going to make the call. Going to check out as hot laps come to an end. Qualifying getting ready to get underway here. 1 lap of qualifying. The other thing to keep in mind tonight, they've got a 50% fuel fill, which means pit window we're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of around right around 15 to 17 laps, as Joe Gautier going to be one of the first ones to roll it. Posey is rolling. Jimmy Green is rolling. Interesting paint scheme on Green's car tonight. I'm kind of digging the Slayer vibe to it. Grim Reaper on the door of that Rev Racing number 23. Logan Rhodes out and rolling. Qualifying a little bit differently here than it is in a lot of other series that we do cover. 1 and done. That's it. So on the outlap, you're going to see everybody right up above that white dotted line, trying to use as much track as they possibly can to get these cars wound up, because this is a plate track. It normally takes about a lap and a half to get a car up to full song. As looks like James Lowe going to be the first one to post a time, and I had that wrong. Sorry. Looks like Posey going to be the first one to post a time. Goes purple in the first sector, still early in qualifying. Coming through 3 and 4. Let's see what type of time he's going to get here. As start-finish line right dead center of the tri-oval. Again, Posey's purple right now to the top of the pile. Joe Gautier right up there as well. Currently, Jimmy Green goes second quick. Gautier slots into third. Let's see what Dusty Burkhart's got. He's coming out of the pits. Brian Tarnowski is out on track right now. Logan Rhodes coming across the stripe in the Tennessee Volunteers, number 14. That is going to slot him into second quick. Posey still atop the pile. Brian Tarnowski going to be the next one to post one as he comes out of 3 and 4 with a good head of steam right now. Tarnowski goes purple in the second sector. That's going to slot him fourth quick. James Lowe going to be the next one to come across. Driving a Mustang this week. Kind of a different feel for Lowe. We normally see him in the Chevy. And James Lowe to the top of the heap. Josh Carver out on track right now, driving the West Virginia Mountaineer, number 33, comes across the stripe. And that's going to slot him in third quick. Ed DeBoer, Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 24. That's going to put him 7th. Marcus Adams, your defending series champion, crosses for second quick. Nice lap out of that Balls Garana, number 31. Greg McConey coming around to complete his lap. 6 quick for him. Brian Chu just starting his flyer. You see him howling on off into turn number 1 there. Right down on that yellow line with that Safeways number 18 Toyota Supra, I'm sorry. Wrong series. This is the Xfinity car, so it is the Supra. Good head of steam for Chu coming down the back chute. Take a quick look at our weather conditions for today. 72-degree ambient air temperature, 31% relative humidity. Clear skies, 2-mile-an-hour winds, pretty negligible right there. 106-degree track temperatures, not as bad as we have seen recently. And Chu's going to slot into 10th quick as the Nacho Man, Chris Worrell, electing to abort on his outlap. Driving the Balls Garana Ginger number 6 tonight. And that is going to do it for qualifying. So let us bring that up. Starting up on the pole is going to be Dusty Burkhart. He's going to be joined with the 99 of James Lowe. Only 2 1,000ths of a second separating first from second. Marcus Adams sits third quick. He's going to be joined in row number 2 with Shane Posey. Josh Carver and Greg McConey going to make up row number 3. Row 4 goes to Logan Rhodes and Jimmy Green. Brian Tarnowski and Brian Chu rolling off in row number 5. Ed DeBoer and Joe Gautier making up row number 6. Row 7 goes to looks like Gautier, the last one to post time in qualifying. Row 7 gives us the teammates Chris Worrell and Michael Anthony. Brandon Wilson, in his return to the league, is going to be joined with teammate Nick Wing in row number 8. Row 9 goes to Adam McKinney and Tim Henderson. Jason Papp and John LeBombard rolling off in row number 10. So 20 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. Again, we are looking at a pit window right around 15 laps or so with that 50% fuel fill. Looks like McConey rocking a tribute scheme to Rusty Wallace. That's a throwback to the old Miller Genuine Draft paint scheme. But rocking the Midwest Motor Customs livery on that car. We do need to thank tonight's sponsor, Circle B Diecast, for all your diecast needs. Circle B is where you want to be. Rowdy Energy for providing closed captioning for tonight. Midwest Motor Customs, Buttkicker, and our good friends over at iRacing iFlags, and our very good friends over at Jones Racing Setups. 90 laps of scheduled distance here tonight. Unlimited tires, no fast repairs. As the field starts to roll behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Burkhart in that Tennessee Volunteer, number 69. Going to be starting up on the point, joined with the United States Coast Guard number 99 of James Lowe. Again, every point counting here moving forward, so we're going to see a lot of different aggression levels being played out tonight. Some guys have to win to get in. Other guys just need a really good points night. For example, Greg McConey, unfortunately, had a very poor finish last week in the 87 Cup cars. He has to turn his season around. Still winless, which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say about Greg McConey this late into the season. Still winless on the season. Dropped 6 spots in the point standings last week. So McConey needs a good points night tonight. There are a lot of guys that need good points nights tonight. Nick Wing being another one who does. As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, Burkhart has the button as the field comes out of turn number 4. Pace truck getting ready to haul it on off. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Race fans, get ready to rock and roll in the world center of racing.
Green flag.
Race fans, it's showtime. Adams giving a good shove to Burkhart right now as they haul it off into turn number 1. Using the horsepower of 2 cars to get them both up to speed. Burkhart with the nose out front. Lowe trying to get something to happen on the high side. He's got Posey with him as they haul it down the super stretch for the first time under anger. 2 wide, about 10 deep. Lowe now with the nose out front. Drops down in front of Burkhart. That's going to leave Posey hung out to dry. He's got McConey, though, with some help on the top side. 4 cars up there right now. Everybody else trying to get low. There's some juggling going on in the back, trying to make some headway moving forward. Give the lap to Lowe. All important bonus point tonight. Here comes Posey on the top side, giving a good shove from the 12 of McConey. Lowe and Burkhart still in lockstep on the low side. And defending series champion Marcus Adams bailing out, coming out of 2. McConey on the high side, glued to the back bumper of Posey. Posey drops down. That is a jumbled mess at the front of this field as McConey tries a little side draft. Nick Wing, the cavalry coming for McConey. Teammates getting hooked up on the top side. Coming to the stripe. Give the lap to McConey by 3/1000ths of a second. McConey, Posey, Wing, Green, Kinney, Lowe, Papp, Burkhart, Wilson, and Carver. Your top 10 right now. Jason Papp and Adam McKinney both up 12 from where they started. Nick Wing up 13. Currently running in the number 3 spot. Second car in line on the top side. Posey gets a good shove from the 23 of Green going into turn number 3. McConey drops down, hangs Wing out to dry. Wing now has the 13 of McKinney there with him. Papp up there as well, trying to make some headway. McConey, all-important bonus point right there for leading a lap. Want to thank Ms. Victor Goldberg and Ms. Brenda Thomas for joining us tonight in the live chat. I see 10 of you hanging out with us so far. If you like what you're seeing, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know you're enjoying it, because it really helps share this video with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. as tonight we are bringing you the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series, round number 12. McConey with help. The 23 of green, side draft, 3 wide going into turn number 1. McConey wisely backing out of it as Posey just sends it. Posey on the top side has the 23 of green with him. McConey and Wing down on the low side. Posey has the clear. He's going to drop down. That's going to leave Pap and Green on the top side. And they've got Brandon Wilson in the 501 for help up there. Coming out of turn number 4, drag race to the stripe. We're getting ready to put lap 5 in the books. Give the lap to Posey again. McConey giving a good shove. Now the thing you're going to notice, the Chevy Camaro has a rounded nose. The Toyota Supra has a rounded nose. Probably one of the best pushing cars in the sim right now is that Ford Mustang. As McConey driving one, Josh Carver driving one, and James Lowe driving one. McConey jumps up with Wing to the top side, getting a good run. That's a great run coming out of 4. They drop that back down in front of Posey. Green and Pap are going to have to get a little more organized if they're going to want to make anything happen on that top side. Pap not being overly aggressive right now because he knows it's still a lot of racing left to go. We're about halfway through this fuel run as McConey, Wing, Posey, Green, and McKinney round out your top 5. Coming through 3 and 4. McConey and Green still in lockstep. McConey on the low side, Green on the high side. Little bit of discombobulation coming out of 4. Green with a good run coming to the stripe. Give that lap to Green. And you know Jason Pap's not going to want to sit back there for too long. As here comes Posey now to the top side. As Green drops down to the inside lane. It's going to leave Posey to pick up Pap on the top side. They're going to need more than 3 cars to really make something happen up there tonight. Coming to the tri-oval again. One more lap from McConey. Posey, though, with a good head of steam, hauling it off into number 1. Pap gave him a shot down the short chute. Posey now with the nose out front. McConey back to the point. Drag race down the super stretch. Wing going to be pushing the daylights out of McConey. Pap locked to the rear bumper of Posey as they haul it into turn number 3. Still in lockstep. Posey almost has it clear. Does not have it anymore as here comes McConey back on the inside. Pap trying to figure out what he's got to do to get to the front of this field to get that all-important bonus point. Posey going to lead that one as they haul it off into turn number 1. Posey has the clear, doesn't drop down. Pap backs off because you never want to push in the corners, especially in the Xfinity car. Coming down the back straightaway again, Posey getting a really good shove from Pap. Almost old school tandem drafting. They got Brandon Wilson there for some help. Throw a blanket over your top 6 right now. McConey and Posey drag racing out of turn number 4. Posey with a good head of steam. Pap gives him a shot down the short chute. Pap was thinking about making it 3 wide coming through the tri-oval and thought better of it. Still a lot of racing left to do as we've got 10 in the books. Marconi, Posey, Wing, Pap, Wilson, McKinney, Carver, Rhodes, and Brian Tarnowski into the top 10. As looks like McConey and Wing going to bail out, getting a little too chippy at the front of this for their liking. That's going to let Jason Pap get a good shove from Brandon Wilson as Posey drops down to the inside. Pap now with a good car length out front. Wilson stays with him. Coming out of turn number 4. Wilson glued to the back bumper of Pap. As they come to the line, they both get the clear. On Posey, here comes Green on the top side. Your biggest mover of the night is the ace of Jason Pap. Currently showing the way, getting that all-important bonus point for leading a lap here tonight. There's tonight and next week, and that is it for the regular season. Let the chips fall where they may as we decide who is going to make it into the playoffs and who are going to be members of the also-ran crew. Pap right now on the inside, safely in the top 16. Coming to the stripe, give another lap to Pap as Green trying a little side draft. And that's putting a lot of faith in your ISP because side draft can lead to netcode and netcode can lead to disaster, especially at the front of a field so tightly packed as this one. Pap now jumps up to pick up Green. That's going to let Wilson get a good shove from Posey coming down the backstretch. Wilson now with a nose out front as they haul it off into turn number 3. Posey backs off to give Wilson some breathing room. Looking for Posey to give him a good shot, though, coming out of turn number 4. Car is starting to get a little bit single file. That's the tattletale that we're getting close on fuel. All important bonus point for Brandon Wilson. He's on the inside, but nowhere near safe. Needs a win to guarantee being into the playoffs. We're on board with Shane Posey right now. As he now takes over the front spot, Wilson makes the third lane to get out of the way. Going to drop into the caboose of that top lane. Not able to really pick up the draft yet. As now it's Pap and Posey for the lead. Pap with the nose out front coming into the stripe. Give the lap to Pap. And Posey immediately bails out. Not sure what's going on with the 83. Didn't feel comfortable up there, so he's going to drop back a little bit. As now it is Pap and McKinney on the low, Green and McKinney on the low side. Pap, Worrell, and Lowe on the high side. As Pap drops down to throw the block on Green, that's going to let Worrell and Lowe get a good run coming out of 4. We've seen it time and time again. Worrell and Lowe work very well together. Coming to the stripe, give it to Pap. Worrell, though, with a good head of steam coming into turn number 1. Lowe breaks off to not push in the corner. Stays close enough, though, to use the drafting help. As they are fast approaching, I believe that is Tim Henderson. Henderson not having a good time of it after pit starting. Missed the grid up and doing the right thing, staying high, which is the league rule here in the ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. All lap cars have to stay high when the leaders get to them. Once the freight train passes, you can drop in and start running with the leaders, but they have to give way and not be, air quote, that guy. Pap, Green, Worrell, McKinney, Lowe, Posey, DeBoer, Carver, Rhodes, and Tarnowski, your top 10 as they currently sit. On board with the ace of Jason Pap. Nice little tango going down on that low side. Jimmy Green giving him a really good shove coming down the super stretch. 17 getting ready to be put in the books. Expect green flag stops any moment now, folks. Biggest movers of the night. The ace of Pap and the 13 of McKinney. Pap is up 18. McKinney is up 14. And with the field getting as single filed out as it is, I would expect pit stops to happen next time by. Let us know who you're pulling for in the live chat. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver. And right now, everybody pretty much stem to stern. 17 cars all within striking distance of each other. The only car one or more laps down, Tim Henderson. Brian Shue, unfortunately, not making it through tech, did not take the green. Pap currently out front in command of this one. Everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's right now, knowing that we're getting close to green flag pit stops. And this is going to be the real tattletale of what we're going to see. Current fastest lap belongs to the 69 of Dusty Burkhart. 49.78 last time by, as he was getting a real good tow on that top side. Marcus Adams and Michael Anthony in front of him, getting a good run going right now. It's only 3 cars in that top lane. Everybody else is trying to bide their time, as we've got a working lap 20 of 90 here tonight from Daytona. You are watching the Esports Broadcasting Network as we present round number 12 of the ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series, presented by Midwest Motor Customs, iRacing, iFlags, and Buttkicker. And here we go. First set of pit stops taking place. Pap leading the charge. Lots of smoke from a lot of drivers. Ooh, the 13 of McKinney going to get popped for unsafe pit entry. Unlimited tire sets, but I wouldn't expect anybody to take tires quite yet. Pap down and away, fuel only. Posey sideways in his pit stall. Everybody fuel only right there, except for McKinney, who got popped for unsafe pit entry. He's going to be held in his box. Defending series champion Marcus Adams going to be leading the second charge onto pit road, as he's got 3 teammates. And the 69 of Burkhart does the exact same thing. Oh, heartbreak for both those Tennessee Volunteer rides tonight, as Burkhart getting it wrong coming onto pit road and then slides through his stall. Jason Pap with a little bit of a gap back to Shane Posey. You got to wonder what's going to happen when they catch Pap, as Adams down and away, Anthony down and away, Lowe, DeBoer, and Worrell all down and away. Pap and company, though, up to full song as they come into turn number 3. McConey jumps up, as does Posey. That's Chris Worrell down on the apron. You can see Adams up there in front, as cars coming out of the pits and scrambling. Oh, brother. Everybody doing a job to get by him. Marcus Adams, though, and Michael Anthony with a good head of steam, but Posey now leads the charge for the guys that came down on that first group, and they've got a good head of steam going. A little bit more broke up than they really want to be right now, but they are reeling in that tandem of Adams and Anthony at the front of this piece. Good run so far. Nice quiet night for your defending series champion, Marcus Adams. Michael Anthony currently up 12 from where he started. Decent run going so far, and here we go. Business is about to pick up as Posey, wasting no time, swings it to the top side. McConey abandons. McConey going to hang Posey out to dry. Was thinking about going with him, thought better of it, as that's the 69 of Burkhart, who got held in his pit stall for unsafe pit entry, going a lap down there. And this is what Shane Posey is seeing coming off of turn 2. Freight train is there and no hole. As Adams and Anthony peel off down the middle of the back straightaway, McConey going to inherit the lead. James Lowe up there with him. Jason Papp within striking distance. Back in your top 3. So with the green flag pit stops out of the way, we are going to step away and pay a couple of bills. We'll be back after these words.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. And we are back live at Daytona, round number 12 of the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. James Lowe, Logan Rhodes up at the front of this piece. One of the only times you're ever going to see a West Virginia Mountaineer working with a Tennessee Volunteer to try to make something positive happen. Bitter rivals on the sports courts, but drafting partners here at Daytona working the high side right now. James Lowe has Jason Papp with him on the low side. Greg McConey up there as well, along with Shane Posey. Drag race down the back straightaway. They got a three-car tango going on, and that takes balls. You never want to be the guy in the middle of a three-car tango, because you never want to be pushing the pusher, because that usually spells disaster. Somehow those guys made it work, though, as Logan Rhodes drops down with Josh Carver in front of James Lowe. That's going to leave the 23 of Jimmy Green on the top side with the 24 of Ed DeBoer. And just so you know what is going on here, we do have a GoPro on with our good friend James Lowe in the 99. And this is exactly what he's seeing, because this GoPro is right on the chin strap of his helmet. You can see just how rock steady Lowe is right now. Not a lot of movement out of that steering wheel. Initiates the turn and keeps it right there. There's the hauler down the stretch one more time. Groundhog sees. Going out of turn 4, Rhodes with a good head of steam. Still shows the way. The 23 and the 24 of Green and DeBoer putting a lot of faith in netcode right now, hoping that it doesn't happen. But it's so easy with side drafting to get into somebody. You see a little bit of damage on the back bumper of James Lowe. Looks like a bump draft maybe went a little bit wrong, but no harm, no foul. Carver wanting to go on the top side, getting some clean air to that radiator. Didn't have the clear on Green. Drops back in line behind Rhodes. Coming to the stripe, another lap for Rhodes. 35 laps working right now of 90. Every bonus point counts moving forward. Take a quick look here at the point standings coming into tonight. Logan Rhodes just on the outside looking in. 15 back at John LeBombard. Rhodes only had 8 starts to LeBombard's 10. And LeBombard not having a good time of it here tonight, as he's currently mired back in 16th and not with this lead pack of cars. So Rhodes trying to grab every possible bonus point he can. Try to make it into the Sweet 16 for the playoffs. He's got this week, next week, and that is it. We are cutting heads next week to determine who the 16 are that are going to race it out for a championship here in the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Pit window right around 20 laps in this place under Enger, as we are working lap 37 of 90. So roughly 17 laps from the last time most of these guys were down pit road. So we are getting close to the next round of green flag pit stops. We've already seen a couple of self-inflicted wounds tonight. Adam McKinney's 13 and 69 of Dusty Burkhart both getting popped for unsafe pit entry under the first round of stops. LeBombard and Worrell both just losing the draft, so not a good time for either of them right now. We are going to go on board with Jason Papp. And this is out the front bumper of his car. Logan Rhodes, Josh Carver, James Lowe, Jason Papp, Jimmy Green, Ed DeVore, Greg McConey, Shane Posey, Brian Tarnowski, and Joe Gautier rounding out your top 10 right now, as we have about 14 of them stem to stern currently. The caboose in that freight train is defending series champion Marcus Adams, and he's joined with his teammate Michael Anthony back there towards the back. And here comes round number 2 of the green flag pit stops. Everybody scatters, gets them woed down. Green, Carver, Posey, Tarnowski, DeBoer, and Gautier all peeling off. It's going to hand the lead of the race back over to James Lowe. He's got Jason Papp for help down there. Greg McConey staying with those two. As they haul it down the back straightaway. And that is the aforementioned John LeBombard dropping down to pick up the leaders there. As should we get a caution, LeBombard would be the free pass position. Getting low, though, to go pit side as McConey, Wing, and Wilson peel off. Lowe, Papp, Adams, and Anthony all electing to stay out. Defending series champion Marcus Adams currently showing the way again. Michael Anthony brushes the apron, gets it collected back up. 5-car tango up there towards the front. Dusty Burkhart is the caboose in that freight train, 1 lap down. Currently in the free pass position. Lowe and Pap peel off. Adams and Anthony stay out. And we got some big separation with the guys that are coming out of pit road. McConey with a 2.5-second gap back to his teammate Brandon Wilson. Logan Rhodes now works to the high side. Rhodes was one of the first to come down. As a matter of fact, Rhodes, Green, Posey, and Carver all came down on lap 40, and they are catching McConey hand over fist right now. They're going to go to the high side. That's going to give McConey the best chance to pick that draft back up. Carver, though, in the 33, stays to the top side. And all that's doing right now is punching a bigger hole as Pap coming out of the pits. Adams and Anthony finally peel off to go pit side. And something happened with Brian Tarnowski. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened to the 55. Crushes the wall, gets it sideways, gets it all wrong. Right in front of Nick Wing. Spins it on the super stretch. Doesn't hit anything, though. Amazing driving from the 55 here tonight. That's pretty darn good, I'll tell you what. Michael Anthony shows the way right now. About a half-second gap back to his teammate Marcus Adams, as there goes the freight train led by Logan Rhodes. And the field is starting to bunch back up a little bit here. As James Lowe and company have started to catch that lead group. Rhodes, Green, Carver, and Posey. We are going to be halfway next time by. Trio of Rev Racing teammates at the front of this piece. Logan Rhodes shows the way in the 14. Jimmy Green and Josh Carver right there as well. Leading good points tonight for the three of them. McConey also needs a good points night to secure his spot into the playoffs. Brandon Wilson right there with his teammate. Wilson in just about a must-win situation if he's going to have any shot at this. As what a shove down the backstretch by Jimmy Green. Pushing the daylights out of Logan Rhodes. Those two Camaros got hooked up, and they are just in lockstep right now. Just past halfway here at Daytona for round number 12 of the regular season for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. We need to thank our very good friends over at Circle B Diecast for all your diecast needs. Rowdy Energy, of course, for all your energy drink needs. Our good friends over at Midwest Motor Costumes for all your iRacing paint needs. And if you're an iRacer and you don't have a butt kicker, you need to get your butt kicked, because it really helps with the immersion. You feel the vibration of the engine, the transmission, and the road in your butt. It really can help step your sim racing up to the next level. You owe it to yourself to get a butt kicker. And there'll be no more of I didn't see the caution if you have yourself an iRacing iFlag, as it is a peripheral that you set on your desk, and it's hooked into the sim as far as if a green flag's out, it shows green. If the yellow flag comes out, it starts flashing yellow. White flag, it turns white. Checkered flag, I'm not sure. I've never actually made it to a checkered flag with an iRacing iFlag. But I'm sure it does something for that too. But you can check them out on their Facebook page. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, getting ready to put lap 48 in the books. Logan Rhodes, Jimmy Green, Josh Barber, Shane Posey, James Lowe, Greg McConey, Brandon Wilson, Ed DeBoer, Michael Anthony, and Marcus Adams rounding out your top 10. And then you are almost 8 full seconds back to 11th place, led by Joe Gautier, as he's got Nick Wing and Jason Papp with him. And Chris Worrell in severe danger of going a lap down very quickly here. Want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, as you don't want to miss a single moment of action here on the Esports Broadcasting Network, as this was race 1 of 3 tonight. Kool-Aid Monster Next Gen Cup Series taking off looks like any minute now. They should be going live. And Sunday we've got a triple header for you, as we have the ISNF Cup Series getting ready to kick off at 3:30 Eastern on Mother's Day. Let me just pull the schedule up as soon as I can remember where the heck I put it. Yeah. So we have the ISNF Cup Series. That is a 5:30 Eastern Time start, as they're going to Nashville for round 17 of their season. 7:30 Eastern Time, we have the Fired Up Esports League as they head into their next round. In the nightcap, as always, Sunday Night NASCAR. It's an 8:30 Eastern Time start on that one. So a ton of racing left this week. A ton of racing left tonight as well. Tarnowski's going to go lap down now. Logan Rhodes still shows the way, working lap 52 of 90 here. Logan Rhodes, Jimmy Green, Josh Carver, Shane Posey, James Lowe, Greg McConey, Brandon Wilson, Ed DeBoer, Michael Anthony, and Marcus Adams rounding out your top 10. And that gap back from Adams to Papp has now grown to 10 seconds. Meanwhile, at the front of this piece, 3 Rev Racing drivers just killing it tonight. Doing what they need to try to get their guys into the playoff situations. James Lowe does not need to win. Shane Posey does not need to win. Greg McConey does not need to win. So those guys are kind of just riding right now, hoping that they can maintain a good points night. Brandon Wilson in the 501, though, he doesn't absolutely need to win, but a win would guarantee his spot in the playoffs. As we are going to check back with that second group. That is Jason Papp, Nick Wing, and Joe Gautier. And it looks like they have John LaBombard with them. And what just happened to Marcus Adams? Keep your eye on the 31, folks. Gets the run coming down the backstretch. Okay. Oh, then. Apparently, SDK... No, something did happen to Adams. Connection issues played a part in it. I get that part of it. Looks like it may have been some net code, as heavy damage on the 31. Out of the racing line, we do stay green. So he's trying desperately to get that car fired back up. Oy. That is a ton of damage for your defending series champion. And connection issues not helping matters there, as we were not able to see exactly what happened. It looked like, though, something may have happened with the 13. As McKinney was closing in very rapidly on Adams just before Adams blinked out. Meanwhile, at the front of this piece, looks like the 33 at Carver getting sick and tired of the view never changing. He jumps up to the top side with the 2 lap cars. That is Tarnowski and Worrell up there. Rhodes, though, leading that freight train on the low side. Tarnowski, a solid pusher most of the time, as they're coming up on a very weak Marcus Adams. And I guarantee you, he is not a happy camper right now. Driving a pavement modified currently. Not something you want to be having to do here at Daytona. Carver with a good head of steam now on the top side with Tarnowski. Trying to make something happen there. Carver hasn't led yet here tonight, but a drag race coming out of turn number 4. A little bit better of a push from Jimmy Green on Logan Rhodes. Gonna let Rhodes lead that lap. Carver going to drop back down, pick up the low side. For those of you with headphones, you might want to be careful of those here, as let's say we twist the knob off. Next round of green flag pit stops underway as Green, Rhodes, Carver, and DeBoer all peeling off to go pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Shane Posey as Tarnowski trying to get his lap back the hard way, working with Worrell on the top side. It's Posey and Lowe on the low side. Marconi sits in third. Lead lap cars are on the inside lane. Lap cars are on the top side right now. You can see who's going to peel off this time to come pit side. We have 60 in the books. Working lap 61 of 90. As Posey definitely going to peel off, and nobody goes with him. Oy. That's a rough one. Nobody able to go with Posey. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to the 99 of James Lowe. As the Ford of Lowe has the Ford of McConey up there working with them. They are quickly approaching some of the cars coming out of the pits. As that is the 13 of Adam McKinney. I dare say we're going to see just about the rest of them peel off here within the next couple of laps. Looks like Tarnowski and Worrell going to peel off. Lowe, McConey, Wilson, Anthony all staying out, as is the 69 of Burkhart. Jason Papp peels off to go alone down pit road. 17 seconds back off this lead group before he went down pit road. And I dare say this little freight train at the front of this piece, the four-car tango of Lowe, Marconi, Wilson, and Anthony, as they peel off to come pit side. The 69 of Burkhart stays out. Now these guys should be able to make it from here. Is 3 wide down the pit road. Probably not the best idea. Looks like fuel only again, as Adams down pit road as well. Anthony's going to win the battle off pit road. McConey and Wilson, the only two Dudes Racing members to come down with that group. The rest of that little tango there made up of the Balls Garana team. Michael Anthony, James Lowe, and defending series champion Marcus Adams, as McConey and Lowe work their way around the very wounded defending series champion. Michael Anthony kind of a sitting duck on that low side right now. Not a lot of help to speak of. Now he's got it, as he's going to drop third in line as McConey and Lowe both drop down to pick him up. Wilson has to get around Adams quickly here, or else he is going to lose the draft of those three cars in front of him. Working to the top side is Wilson. But don't look now, but here comes that next group, led by the 33 of Carver, with a good head of steam. Adam gets up and gets out of the way. As Brandon Wilson in the draft of the cars in front of him, but that second group has almost 5 miles an hour better going for it right now. And Carver going to waste no time, brings that entire group to the top side. Working as a well-oiled unit right now. That is Carver, Rhodes, Green, and DeBoer in lockstep on the top side, Wilson doing everything again to try to reel in McConey, Lowe, and Anthony. Cavalry's coming because here comes Shane Posey on the low side to work with Wilson to try to push him back up there. McConey, though, showing the way on the low side. James Lowe in lockstep with him. Posey jumps up, throws the block on the 33, sacrifices himself. He's going to have to drop to the end of this little freight train right here, as there is no room at the end on the low side. Greg McConey, James Lowe, Michael Anthony, Brandon Wilson, Josh Carver, Logan Rhodes, Shane Posey, Jimmy Green, Ed DeBoer, and Nick Wing rounding out your top 10. DeBoer, the last car being scored in this little front group here. As there he is in that Black Rifle Coffee Company Chevy Camaro. And then it's a 20.5-second gap back to this next group, led by Nick Wing. Joe Gautier and Jason Papp in there with the lap car of Adam McKinney. Back up at the front of this piece, though, working lap 68 of 90. It's time for good news, bad news. Good news. You're not going to be alone when you have to pit, because the bad news is nobody can make it from here. So we have not seen the money stop yet, and we've already seen 3 guys shoot themselves in the foot, proverbially speaking, as unsafe pit entries for a couple of guys and a speeding on pit road penalty for another one here tonight. Only 2 retirements to speak of. Tim Henderson took the green after pit starting and unfortunately has put it back on the hauler. Brian Chu did not start. The other 18 cars that took the green are still running, though. Led by that man in the number 12. That is Midwest Motor Customs' very own Greg McConey, a proud Purdue Boilermaker. Just ask him, he'll tell you. I kid. But James Lowe currently sitting in second place. Very strong run out of the 99. He has had some solid finishes the past handful of weeks. Unfortunately, hasn't really gotten that top rung yet. At least not recently. Let me... And I stand corrected. He did get a win at Talladega in the Xfinity car a couple weeks back. Jason Papp with a win on the season. Ed DeBoer, Nick Kessler, Josh Carver. Jason Papp actually has 2 wins on the season. Justin Sumner won 1. Joe Gautier has won. Brian Tarnowski has won. Marcus Adams has won. James Lowe. And Joe Gautier has his 2nd win on the season. So Papp and Gautier both with 2 wins. As this point standings is very tight coming into tonight. Jackie Rhodes pulling for Logan right now as he sits right now comfortably in the 6th position in that number 14. Just kind of riding right now as they work past John LeBombard in the 95. 19 laps to go. Who's going to be the first one to blink out of this lead group of 9? McConey continues to show the way. James Lowe, Michael Anthony, Brandon Wilson, and Josh Carver rounding out your top 5 right now. We're on board with Logan Rhodes. You see just how rock steady his hands are on that steering wheel. I dare say we're going to see everybody run this tank just about as far as they could possibly get it to make sure that if we do go into overtime, that they're going to be able to make it without issue. As McConey continues to show the way, James Lowe, Michael Anthony, Brandon Wilson right there with him. I think that's 17 to go. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat right now. Let us know who you're rooting for. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver if we can. And also give this video a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. It really helps share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The higher thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to appear on somebody's news feed when they log into YouTube as a, hey, you might like this kind of deal. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. As Frank, Dave, and myself were doing some quick high-powered gazintas, and that's math for those of you north of the Mason-Dixon line. We were doing some quick math, and the Esports Broadcasting Network averages 15 broadcasts a week. So we're actually, I know I take it back, we're at 18 right now. As most of the time we are doing triple headers just about every night of the week. Minimum double headers every night so far except for Thursday. As it's just the one lone broadcast right now. That should be changing here quickly as we're in negotiations with a couple of newer leagues to be the one to bring those leagues to the masses, which we are proud to do for every league we broadcast. I have been with the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway series for about 2 years now, and I got to tell you, I love this league. I love just about every league I broadcast. Matter of fact, there's no just about in that statement. Too many words. I love every league I get the honor to broadcast here for the Esports Broadcasting Network, a sim racing media subsidiary. And I also very much enjoy the interaction with the fans during the podcast that Dave Riegel and I do once a week that usually premieres on Fridays on the Sim Racing Media webpage. You can visit that at simracingmedia.com. And while you're there, check out the store because we got some swag for sale. And what better way to support the leagues that you love to watch than to buy some swag from the Sim Racing Media store. As James Lowe and Michael Anthony go to the top side, working together, those two Balls Garana teammates have just opened the door for Brandon Wilson to work with Greg McConey again. You know, McConey would love nothing better than to get the monkey off his back this season. As we are currently working race 12. And if you had told me that we would be 12 races in and Greg McConey would have a goose egg in the win column, I would have told you you were insane. But not the season he's used to having right now. The same can pretty much be said for defending series champion Marcus Adams, as he's definitely not had a night to remember. Currently sitting on pit road for the last 6 minutes. I believe he hand grenaded an engine after that net code damage that he got earlier. So it's a rough one for Adams. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it back out or not. Quick math says probably not, but kind of is what it is at this point. As Lowe and Anthony working together right now on the low side, everybody getting kind of single filed out. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the first one to blink, to peel off, to go down pit road for the money stop here. And there's our answer. It's going to be the Rev Racing guys, Josh Carver, Logan Rhodes, Jimmy Green, and Ed DeBoer. That is going to leave a four-car tango at the front of this piece. The two Balls Garana drivers of James Lowe and Michael Anthony, with the two Dudes Racing drivers of Greg McConey and Brandon Wilson. Shane Posey staying out as well. There's Posey. And that is John LeBombard trying to stay with those guys. We are going to be 10 to go at the stripe. James Lowe showing the way. Michael Anthony glued to his back bumper. As McConey trying to get some clean air. Gautier trying to get some clean air. Or sorry, that was Posey trying to get some clean air. Brandon Wilson getting some clean air. So 5-car tango at the front of this piece. And I dare say it would behoove these guys to come down pit road together as McConey and Wilson peel off. That's going to let Lowe, Anthony, and Posey stay out. And it's going to be a tough one right now with the way that everything is going. Logan Rhodes, Josh Carver, Jimmy Green, and Ed DeBoer were the first ones to peel off. They are a 37-second gap behind the leaders right now. And the pit road delta is about 34 seconds. And we're about to find out what this is going to shake out to as Anthony, Lowe, and Posey all peeling off. Lots of tire smoke out of the 8. Luckily, iRacing a little bit forgiving as far as flat spotting these tires. Jason Papp leading that second group. Peels off and goes with Chris Worrell, Nick Wing, and Joe Gautier. Logan Rhodes currently showing the way in the Tennessee Volunteers, number 14. Race lead, though, belongs to this man, James Lowe. As that is Posey and Anthony trying to reel him in. Lowe was able to negotiate pit road a lot better than his two drafting compatriots. As here comes the freight train. Choo-choo, little man, choo-choo. As almost effortlessly Logan Rhodes flashes by. Oy, what a jumble. Here comes McConey and Wilson on the top side. Posey's going to go with them. Trying to make something happen right now. Logan Rhodes shows the way. Monteagle, Tennessee native, currently in command as we are going to be 6 to go at the stripe. Carver jumps up to take the run away from McConey. Contact in the back of the pack. With Ed DeBoer getting sent. Oy. Let's back that up one more time. Keep your eye on the 24 and the 83. Posey got into the back bumper of Wilson, sent him down the track, and the 24, a victim of circumstance. We do stay green, though, and we are now back live. 5 to go. Rhodes shows the way. Carver kind of playing blocker on the top side. McConey thinking about making it 3 wide. Better of it is Posey down there on the low side now. This race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Rhodes and Green, though, working that low side pretty effectively. Carver just kind of stacking up that outside lane right now. McConey stuck behind him as Posey going to jump up in front of the 33. How much help is the 33 going to be, though? As that's his teammate leading this piece on the low side. Oy, the 23 of Green all over the apron. And Green's around. We're going into overtime. Keep your eye on the 23 on the low side right now. Catches the apron again, and gets into Brandon Wilson. The 8 of Michael Anthony is what finished the 23 off, though. And something just happened to Ed DeBoer. Not sure exactly what's going on here. DeBoer very slow. Looks like he may have hand grenaded an engine. That car is not running, so yes, he did hand grenade an engine. After smacking the inside wall, as we are back live, we are going into overtime. So the question is anybody going to come down and get tires? We know they can make it on fuel. Can they make it on tires, though? From the looks of it, nobody's coming down pit road, as they do get lined up behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. And it looks like Brandon Wilson going to be the first one to peel it off. Brandon Wilson, Nick Wing, Jimmy Green all going pit side, as is Brian Tarnowski, Adam McKinney. Unfortunately, Ed DeBoer and Marcus Adams have both hand grenaded their engines. So, let us know who you're pulling for. Brenda Thomas pulling for the 14 of Rhodes, as is Jackie Rhodes. Okay, then. Want to thank RL Productions LLC for chiming in. Bo, really appreciate the kind words. So a quick rundown of the way that they are running right now as the lights are getting ready to go out on the pace truck. Logan Rhodes in the Tennessee Volunteers Chevy Camaro shows the way. Shane Posey in the Mountain Dew Toyota Supra sits in second place. Josh Carver's West Virginia Mountaineers Ford Mustang sits in third. And the Purdue Boilermaker himself, Greg McConey, sitting in fourth. Michael Anthony rocking the balls, Garana Toyota Supra. He's got his teammate to his outside. Jason Papp, Joe Gautier, Nick Wing, and Jimmy Green rounding out your top 10. Brandon Wilson, Chris Worrell rounding out your lead lap cars, as Worrell did get the free pass. As the lights go out on the pace car, Posey and McConey going to be working the top side, but they've got yeoman's work to try to get around Logan Rhodes and Josh Carver, as those two schools normally don't get along at all. But those two drivers have worked very well here tonight, showing that sportsmanship is not dead in the NC2A. So I have to ask, folks, are you a Tennessee Vols fan? Are you a West Virginia Mountaineers fan? Are you a Purdue Boilermaker fan? Or are you a fan of the School of Hard Knocks? Let's find out, as we are going to have a green-white checker here coming out of turn number 4. Green flag's going to come out. The leader has to cross start-finish line to accept the white flag before all hell breaks loose, or else we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again. Giving them 3 shots at this tonight. As the pace truck is in, the green flag is out, and we are back underway. Green-white checker attempt number 1. Rhodes and Posey in lockstep, going down the short chute, leading into turn number 1. Rhodes with a little bit of a nose out front. What the hell was that? I apologize, folks, for my crudeness in that call. I have no idea what just happened, though, but Shane Posey got yeeted. Get to the chopper. This is what the chopper picked up. Here they are going into turn number 1. Keep your eye on that top lane. The 33 goes up, gets into Posey, and just annihilates everybody behind him. Posey's night is done. Hand grenaded the engine. Dare say it's safe to assume that the 33 of Carver is going to be called to the big white truck at the end of this one, because he just went up into Posey. There are a lot of torn up race cars now. Posey pretty much out of it. DeBoer still on pit road. Marcus Adams is back out, though, after getting some damage repaired on the 31. So Adams is going to be able to finish this race from the looks of it. McConey goes pit side. Wilson goes pit side, as both those guys caught a piece of that one, unfortunately. That is a very torn up Ford Mustang for McConey. Wilson's Camaro, little bit of damage on the right side. Shouldn't affect him too adversely. So we are going to rack them, stack them, and fire it again for attempt number 2. Logan Rhodes, Josh Carver, Michael Anthony, James Lowe, Jason Papp, Joe Gautier, Nick Wing, Jimmy Green, Chris Worrell, and Brandon Wilson. The only 10 cars on the lead lap right now. Biggest movers of the night, Michael Anthony is up 11, currently running in the number 3 spot. But this man here in the number 1, the chief cook and bottle washer for the iRacing East ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series, that's a mouthful, is Jason Papp, up 14, currently rounding out your top 5. And we've seen it before. Papp has been able to steal them before from much further back. Logan Rhodes electing to take the outside lane. A little bit of strategery being played here. As Rhodes going to have the button from the top side. Meaning Carver's got to wait till he gets to the start-finish line, or else he's going to get a pass-through, and there won't be enough time to really serve it. So that is probably going to stack up a little bit. But the one thing it definitely is going to do is it's going to give James Lowe a shot. If Rhodes drops down to pick up Carver, that's going to let Lowe get a good run. And they're hoping Michael Anthony is going to try to push on Carver. Carver not in an absolute must-win situation, but he definitely needs a good points night. He does have a bonus point for leading a lap tonight. As the pace truck peels off, here comes attempt number 2 at a green-white checker finish. Green flag comes back out. And Carver doesn't really go. Rhodes going to drop down. That's going to let Lowe and Gautier on the top side as they haul it off into turn number 1. Lowe getting a good shove from the 67 of Gautier as they come out of turn number 2 with a good head of steam. Carver getting shoved by Rhodes. Gautier not to the back bumper of Lowe, though. Lowe, though, with a nose out front as they haul it off into turn number 3. Papp right there as well. Nick Wing within striking distance. Chris Worrell back on the lead lap, and that's all he had to be as they come out of turn 4 to take the white flag. Coming across the stripe, James Lowe going to lead it. He's going to stay with Gautier on the top side. Top side has been where they've been making passes all night long here tonight. We're racing back to checkers here at Daytona in the Xfinity car. Round 12 of the Circle B Diecast ROWDY Energy Superspeedway Series getting ready to be put in the books. James Lowe with a good head of steam. Gautier with a good shove. That is Pap and Wing trying to make a third lane on the top side. Lowe drops down, gets up into, oh, brother. It's a foot race. Oi. Logan Rhodes gonna come home victorious. Josh Carver hangs on for second. Nick Wing crosses in third. Both those guys driving pavement modifieds. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. That's Jason Papp on the high side. And Gautier was doing everything he could to stay off of James Lowe. Oh, man. Yeah, there's going to be a discussion. I don't know what Jimmy Green was trying. But, dude, you're Jimmy Green, not Cole Trickle. Oy vey. Well then. In that special. Let me see if I can find him. As we are going to reach out now to the driver of the number 14 Tennessee Volunteers Chevy Camaro, Logan Rhodes. And Logan, I don't know if you were aware of what just happened behind you, but holy crap, what a last lap.
Oh my gosh, boys, that was crazy. That was crazy. I hit the apron, held in it, and everybody was wrecking in my mirror, and wow, just wow.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it was kind of a foot race there to the finish. And you were able to hang on and keep the car pointed in the right direction.
Oh, yes, sir. I had a handful when it started right there. Like I said, I shot down the apron and grabbed a gear and threw it back into it and come back up on the track, and luckily brought it home. Well,
I know there are a couple of ladies in the live chat right now that are very happy that you came home with the victory. You had Jackie Rhodes and Brenda Thomas on their feet all race long. But, Logan, you weren't in necessarily a must-win situation to get into the playoffs, but tonight definitely helped your cause, especially considering that next week is the regular season finale at Talladega in the trucks. Your thoughts going into that race?
Yeah, I really am glad to lock up a win. I knew coming in I was 31 points out, and we're going to need a lot of help, because there's a lot of really good drivers out here. And I can't thank my team enough. I mean, that's what this plate racing's about. Pushing, know when to push, on and off pit road. I just can't thank them enough. That was a great run, a great team effort, and looking forward to next week at Talladega.
All right, Logan, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate your victory tonight?
First off, always, I want to thank God for the opportunity to do this and the ability. I want to thank my beautiful girlfriend, Ashley. I want to thank my mom, Jackie, and my nana, Brenda. They cheer me on every race. I couldn't ask for better fans. My dad, my stepmom, my uncle, my teammates, Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, broadcast guys. Y'all do a great job here. And I never thought I'd get to talk to you guys.
Well, you can't say that anymore. Best of luck to you next week at Talladega. Go and enjoy that victory.
Thank you, buddy.
So that was our winner, Logan Rhodes. And joining us now is going to be his teammate, driver of the West Virginia Mountaineer, number 33 Ford Mustang, Josh Carver. Talk us through that first green-white checker start.
Oh man, that was crazy. They had a good run on the outside. They were nose to bumper. I was on the bumper of the 14 there, and as I hit the bumper of the 14, I don't know if it was just the way we connected or what, but my car kind of came up a tad, and I ended up getting into can't remember who it was. But I think it was McConey and Posley that was on the outside right there. It was a little unfortunate for them, but there wasn't really much I could do. I was off the gas and stuff. It was just the way I hit the bumper trying to push there, I believe.
Well, you were definitely involved in the big one coming to the checkered flag. Talk us through what you saw on the final lap.
Thought I had it in a bag, honestly. They all started wrecking. I was on the bottom. My spotter, we have a spotter that spots for us. He's telling us they're wrecking in front of us. So I'm like, I'm going to the wall. Everybody's going to slide to the bottom. I seen cars start sliding, and I barely got touched and got through there. And then Jimmy come up through there. Jimmy had a chance to win that race. There's nowhere he could have went. We went back and watched the replay. He got into us. He had nowhere to go. He was going so fast. Last lap, you ain't gonna lift on the last turn, especially if you got a chance to win it. But I'm proud Scrappy got it. He needed that one right there. That was a good run. He ran a good solid race the whole night.
You were both very strong, and I made comments throughout the night that this is probably going to be one of the only times you're ever going to see a West Virginia Mountaineer helping a Tennessee Volunteer on purpose.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. We give each other a lot of crap over that, but yeah, you're exactly right.
But Josh, again, congratulations on the podium. Next week we move into the trucks at Talladega. Your thoughts going into that truck race, which is going to be the regular season finale, mind you.
That's one that we've had circled. Truck Series is our favorite, especially Dega. That's our favorite track too. So yeah, it ought to be an interesting show. It'd be a lot of 3-wide racing. It'd be fun.
All right, Josh, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate with your team?
I'd like to thank Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, Buttkicker, Midwest Custom Motors, and iRacing Flag for what they do. None of this would be possible without them. We really appreciate all their support and their sponsorship of what they do for us. And I want to thank the Rev guys, man, the way we came through tonight. It was a rough race. It was a long race. We was able to hang in there, and Scrappy was able to pull that one out. So got to give a shout out to all my Rev guys. Appreciate everything they do.
All right, Josh Carver, congratulations on the podium. We'll see you next week at Dega.
I got one final statement I'd like to say, if that's all right.
Yes, sir.
Rick Caruso is going to win his fight in the VKCF today.
I have no idea what that means, but okay.
Bare Knuckles Fighting Championship. I got a brother-in-law that's fighting tonight.
All right, best of luck.
He's going to take it. Yep, Richard Caruso. He's going to take the win.
Best of luck to him tonight. Hopefully he has similar luck to your team had tonight.
Yes. Thank y'all.
So that was Josh Carver. And joining us now, Nick Wing, all things considered, can't be too disappointed in a podium finish here at Daytona, but what a mess that last lap was, sir.
Yes, it was. I just had to hold my foot down and wish for the best on that outside line and let the hopefully open clear for me.
That seemed to be what everybody was doing on that final melee there, coming to the checkers. But, Nick, you had a good, strong run early on. After the first round of pit stops, you and Jason Papp kind of got shuffled back a little bit. And then that caution came out, bunched everybody back up. And knowing you going into final laps like that, if you can see the leader, you've got a shot at it, especially here at Daytona.
Yeah, well, where the last few races I've been going, I slid through the pit box twice on the green flag, which kind of screws you anyways, but I figured as long as I don't go a lap down, I could possibly get back because we'll have a caution eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you guys went 98 laps caution-free. So definitely something to be proud of. And next week we go into the regular season finale at Talladega in the trucks. You've had some pretty good success with that matchup.
Unfortunately, I'm probably at 50%. I will not make it because I'm going to a local track and watching the 410 sprint cars on asphalt.
Take me with you.
You get here first.
That sounds like a ton of fun. But, Nick, again, good points finish for you tonight. Pretty much cementing your way into the playoff round of 16. Who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate?
I'd like to thank the Circle B Diecast, ROWDY Energy, iRacing, iFlags, Buttkicker, and Midwest Motor Customs, and Greg and Brandon.
Your two dudes racing teammates, as you guys worked very well here tonight. It was good to see a concerted team effort there. But best of luck to you if you do make it next week to Talladega. Best of luck to you. If not, enjoy that 410 asphalt sprint car race.
Yep.
So that was our third place finisher, Nick Wang. And we can now, as soon as I can get my buttons in order, we can now show our finishing order. Logan Rhodes, Josh Carver, Nick Wing surviving that last lap melee. Chris Worrell limping home in fourth. Brandon Wilson able to rebound for fifth. Joe Gautier, Michael Anthony, James Lowe, Greg McConey, and Jimmy Green rounding out your top 10. Jason Papp in 11th, rounding out your lead lap cars. Dusty Burkhart, Brian Tarnowski, John LeBombard, Adam McKinney, your top 15. Shane Posey, Ed DeBoer, Marcus Adams, your cars that did finish. And then, whoops, wrong button. Tim Henderson was the last car to actually take the green, coming home in 19th. Brian Chu did not start. Round 12 in the books. Join us next week for the regular season finale as we determine who's going to go into the playoffs here in the ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. This is Tony Trapasso for the Esports Broadcasting Network, reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic, but be sure to show your mom some love this Sunday, as this Sunday is Mother's Day. Good night, everybody.